Hello. So today we are here with the gut health program. So here today we are in the sixth series. So here we have been seeing a couple of programs with all the symptoms that related to the emotions that we have been facing and that have been taken up through many of the sessions. So today we are going to see how journaling is going to be connected to gut health, right? So to explain this is me, Dhanyalakshmi, holistic nutrition coach. So here we're going to see about journaling. So basically, people are much aware about journaling, how it is being done, and all those things. I'm not going to go deep into it, but I'm going to tell you how it can be done in a way wherein you can see or you can analyze where you've been really going wrong with your emotions or with your food or whatsoever, right? So in this, first of all, I would like to tell you, uh, we all dietitians and the nutritionists give you a certain, some of you would have come across this. We would give you a small booklet to ask you to maintain the food, in food intake on daily basis. So after a week or after a couple of days, we would come back and check what are the foods that you have been eating on time, or you have skipped the meals or something like that, right? This is a food recall. This is also one way of journaling. And the other way of journaling is that here as a holistic approach, right? So here it's going to be totally different. So here we are going to compare many aspects together for the journaling. So journaling can be done as according to your own wish. It can be done at any point of time of the day. You can carry the book all through the day with you and jot it down whenever you wanted to write it, whenever emotions come across, or whatever the points that we are asking you to recollect. You can just write it down, or you can do it even at the end of the day. So this is how the journaling can be done, and you can make it really funny, or you can make it really interesting and creative by even drawing something, drawing whatever the emotions, like a cartoonic drawings and all these things. You can just fill it up and you can just put it there, or any happy emotions, any pictures that you have been seeing in the papers or something like that. You can just cut it down and stick it in the journal book. That also becomes really creative, and you just get into your childhood days of sticking all these colorful pictures into your journal. And once when you look back, you don't really um, feel something that you have done for the waste of time or something. It is for you that you have been doing. So it'll be like really interesting when you just look back. So coming back to what journaling that we are going to do with regarding to the gut health, right? So here journaling becomes very important because here we're going to compare the emotions, the food, and the symptoms, right? So when I say this, you'll have to note down the time of the day, the actions that you do corresponding to the time. So from morning 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, if I've been sleeping, so I write it as sleeping. But during the sleep, also certain emotions come across. If you are having a peaceful sleep, do write it as peaceful sleep. If the sleep is disturbed, you can write it as a little disturbed or a little anxious. You can put that in the emotions. So, for example, when you are cooking or when you are praying, all these timings are different, so you can just put it across the time. So 10 o'clock I've been cooking. During cooking, was I focusing on the cooking or something else is cooking in my mind? So that you can just put there, and those emotions you can just note it down. And during prayer, so many of them say like prayer is being like, I sit and do prayer for 30 minutes or 1 hour or something like that. But are you really focused during prayer? When you're praying, something is running in your kitchen, or something else that you're rushing up for, because you want to wind up the prayer fast, and you have to be there on time for some other appointment or something. So those things also you can just note it down, because you're not in patient or in mindful state in doing any actions. So in those state also you can put it in the emotion column, how the action, how the the activity that you've been doing. When you start noting these things down, You will be able to know which activity that you do and which emotion which is being played simultaneously inside your mind, right? And besides this, you will be noting down the actions taken also. The actions which I mean is like the you have been reacting to the emotions or you've been responding to the emotions. So for example, if you have been responding, for example, you have been calming down yourself when there is a kind of anxiety or there is a kind of anger going inside. You've been calming down yourself listening to music, or kind of uh, go grab a glass of water and drink, or go for a walk and come back, or take some breaths, and sitting in a place, take some deep breaths and calm yourself down. All these things are like responding and thinking over why these things are coming across. If you've been reacting, most of the times we react for these emotions. You've been reacting, showing your anger in different forms, or showing your the different activities which corresponds to your emotion. You can jot down all these things as well. And also, the next thing is nothing but the food. So why food also plays a major role here? Because food and emotion plays always together. So whenever you are in a calm and subtle emotion, you tend to choose the food in a wiser way. When the emotions are playing a major role, it creates a imbalance in the hormones, so it tends you to choose foods in a erratic way. So when you start jotting down the food pattern that you've been following all through the day, you can compare for what emotion what food that you've been choosing. At the end of a week or an end of 21 days, you will be knowing how much of the mind plays a major role here in selecting even your food, right? And the next last column is your symptoms. Why symptoms here? Because since this is a gut health program and many of you are here to hear about how to really give you a relief out of your relief to come out of your symptoms, right, that you've been facing. So you can, when you start writing your symptoms, when you have been burping, or when you have been facing the acidity, some kind of acid reflux, or some kind of pain in your upper tummy or the lower tummy or any sides of the tummy. So all these things, when you start doing it, what happens, you will be knowing it, a little clarity you will be getting when and where the symptoms are occurring. Is it because of the emotions, or it's because of the food, or both plays a major role in creating these symptoms, right? So this is how the journaling has to be done on everyday basis, right? So when you start doing these journaling, what happens is like, there is another additional advantage apart from knowing your the symptoms when it is occurring and all those things. There is another advantage of improving your memory, because you're going to fully focus on writing it. When I say writing, yes, the journaling has to be done in the writing form only. The paper and the pen has to play. So you can take an A4 sheet paper or maintain a journal notebook to write it down, right? So in this way, when you start doing it, the focus improves, the memory improves, and you're going to shed down all the unwanted emotions on the paper. So this is kind of one kind of practice wherein a therapy, I would say, wherein it helps you to let go certain emotions, because most of the time we start stacking down the emotions within us. We are not able to express it or neither tell it out to somebody. So in this stage, what happens, when you start writing it down, you're just expressing it, you're just writing for yourself, you're putting it out. So in this way, you will be going down with the emotions also, right? And next thing is, keep the book private. Because why this? Because many of us express our emotions there. We don't want others to read it. If at all others are reading it, it is fine. It is your emotions. You know the pain, how much you have been going through it. It is fine if they are going to read it. If at all, start keeping it in a private place so that others do not read it. And why we are asking you to keep it in a private place? Because we are writing the journal not to impress anybody. See, even at the end of a week or 11 days or 21 days, if you're coming back to me or any other coach, with the journaling. Yes ma'am, I have done all these journaling that you asked me to do. Can you just have a look at it. It is not to impress me or others, right? It is to put down all your emotions. It is to put down all your experiences that you have been going through. So do not feel ashamed to put whatsoever points that you want to put in the journaling. Then only we will be able to help you out and give you a solution, right? So in this way, start maintaining it. So as I told you, once you are comfortable, once you have noted down for a week or 11 days, come back to us, and you can, check out for our names, our coaches in the WhatsApp group. The admin list are the coaches' names. So you can ping anybody personally saying that, ma'am, I would require your help with regarding to the journaling that I've been doing. So these things I've been jotting it down. Can you just help me in correlating where I've been going wrong? Definitely, we are here to help you out, right? Being even a small, minute corrections or the making up of the changes, that will give you a beautiful clarity to whatever you have to start doing, and that will really give you a happy way through for the rest of the life, because the correlation, that is what is going to be uh, noted down here, and we are going to really help you out in correcting certain things, right? So don't ever think that these things are my personal things. How am I going to really share it to others? Here, as a holistic coach, we are all non-judgmental. That is the first criteria and the quality that we are carrying. So never ever think we are going to judge you by seeing all your emotions that has been playing around. Everybody are here playing with the emotions because of the hormonal imbalance, or because of the external environment, or something which has been stacking inside us. So everything plays a role in bringing up the emotions. So here we are there to help you out, even in controlling your emotions, and how to select your food, and how to have a control over your symptoms as well, and come out of these symptoms beautifully, very easily, right? So this is how the journaling has to be written. Let me just repeat it quickly. The time of the day, the action, the activities that you have been doing in the times, like your sleep or your meetings, your lunch, dinner, breakfast, in between the family time, whatsoever the activities. And next becomes the emotions. So the emotion is the emotion that plays a role during your activities. You've been happy or sad or depressed or anxious, or any kind of fear whatsoever, put in the emotions column. And beside that, put even a small storyline wherein you will be able to remember later why these patterns have been repeatedly coming. And later, next part is the after emotions is the actions. As I told you, are you been reacting to the actions, or are you been responding to the actions? Next is the food. So when the food comes, the timings, according to the timings, what all you have been eating, what all you have been craving for. Or if you're not eating, somebody would crave, or somebody would start skipping their meals, they wouldn't eat at all. So all these things you start jotting it down along with water. When I say food, along with water, you have to note it down. And one more important thing, write down your medicines also, because medicines also plays a major role, because few medicines would give you a relief immediately. You can put it in the actions list, I had this food and I am relieved. Yeah. And certain medicines would even create some other symptoms, right? So note down your medicines that you've been taking, medicines or supplements or anything of that sort, right? And the last one is the symptoms. So symptoms that you have been facing all through the day. So the symptoms I've mentioned earlier, any of the symptoms that you've been facing all through the day, you can just mention it, right? So this is how you're going to maintain your journal, and get back to us after a week, so that we will have a overlook at it, and we will be helping you out. We are here to you know help and heal you, and relieve you from all the symptoms that you've been suffering. That is our major motto. Please come back. Thank you. And we'll be seeing you in the next session with another beautiful topic. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you.